when we talk about the human being, we are talking about an entity that is made up of different components. Ayurveda, the ancient science of life that originated from India, talks about the three doshas and it talks about the Sapta Dhatu. The Sapta Dhatus that are the components of our body, namely the Rasa-Rakta, Maamsa, Meda, Asthi, Majjaa and Shukra. However, when a yogi takes a look at a human being, as our Guru, Yogamaharishi Swami Gitananda Giri has done, Swamiji has given us the Dwadasha Krama, the 12 components that are not just the physical but also the non-physical or the metaphysical. Of these components, the Nava Dhushyas, the 9 substances, are a parallel to the Sapta Dhatus of Ayurveda with slight modification. The first of them, the Asthi, the bone structure. The second, Maamsa, the flesh, the musculature. Nadis, these are the subtle nerve channels through which the energies can flow that manifest in the physical body as our nerves as well as all the blood vessels that are taking movement throughout the body. The arteries, the veins, the capillaries. All of them come into it, including the lymphatics. Rasa and Rakta are brought together when we come to the Nava Dhushyas, though they are separate in Ayurveda's Sapta Dhatu. Rasa as the fluid component of blood, that which is having the fluidity is the Rasa, whereas Rakta becomes the cellular component. The red blood cells, the WBCs, the platelets, they are more of the Rakta component, and Rasa is the fluid component, the plasma that we find in our blood. Indriyas, our sensory apparatus, the Jnanendriyas, the Karmendriyas, all of them come in this concept of the Indriyas that feed us with information about the world in which we live. Granthis are the hormone secreting glands. Our endocrine and exocrine glands, all the way from the pineal at the top to the gonads at the bottom, and all the other glands that are in the digestive system as well as under our armpits and so many other places. Meda is the fatty tissue, the adipose tissue, that which gives us insulation and is a long-term source of energy in case we are not able to get the next meal to eat. Majjaa is that bone marrow, the central part of the bone from which the blood cells are produced. It's amazing that our ancient yogis, the ancient Ayurvedic scientists knew the importance of the bone marrow and gave it a special place in the Sapta Dhatu as well as the Nava Dhushyas. And the Soma that refers to the glandular juices. Now the Granthis were the juice secretors, but the Soma becomes the juices, including all the higher juices that are secreted in all the endocrine glands throughout the body, enabling us to be a complete human being. In addition to these physical entities, the Nava Dhushyas are more physical. We also have 3 more to make up the 12, which are more metaphysical, non-physical, the prana, the mana, and the chakra. The prana, which is the life energy, which is at the subtle layer, our pranamaya kosha and the sukshma sharira, can have different sub-classifications that include the prana vayus, that are the nerve currents, the prana nadis, the psychic nerve channels, the prana vahakas. The prana vahakas are these impulses that are coming in the nervous system. For example, the sinoatrial node, our pacemaker, which has the spontaneous impulse generation, it would have a prana Vahaka type of function in the yogic classification. The prana vahana, fluid, just as our gods have the vehicles, it is the vehicle, the neurochemical, psychoneurochemical fluids, which in the chakras, the psychic vortices becomes a vana. The vahana becomes a vana. And of course, in our chakra aspects of yoga, we try to even go beyond that vana in a nirvana state. The prana granthis are nodes of prana. These are places where the pranic energy can be stored, can be stuck, and are safeguards. When we come to manas, it is not just manas or mind, but it includes the subconscious chitta, the conscious manas, the intellectual buddhi that has the power of viveka, as well as the power of the ichcha, kriya and jnana shaktis, the powers that make us truly humane. The bindus, which are focal points of consciousness, especially in the manomaya kosha, the lokas, the different planes at which we exist. There are 14 planes, the 7 higher, starting with Bu, Bhuva, Swa, Mahajana, Tapa, Satya, and similarly all the Patala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, Atala, Vitala, all of these are the lower hells, 14 planes that we can choose to live in. And then the mandalas, which are these dynamic energy shapes. They are filled with color, 3-dimensional shapes filled with color that are like the logo. They are the key to go into this energy field. When we focus on the mandala, be it the Prithvi mandala, the yellow square or yellow cube, the Apas, the Tejas, or the Vayu mandala, that beautiful 6-sided star, a blue hexagon like the Star of David, or the symbol we use for Lord Muruga in South India, being young at heart. The Manas mandala up here at the Agnya Bindu and the Agnya Chakra, an orange circle. Enabling us by focusing on these beautiful mandalas, we can start to activate. We invoke, and through that invocation, we evoke in ourselves these energies. And of course, last but not the least, the entire chakra system. The chakra system, which in Swami Gitananda Giri's teachings, in the Gitananda tradition, Rishi culture, Ashtanga Yoga, Parampara, we have the 12 chakras, the 6 higher, the 6 under chakras, which start at Sahasrara and go up to Muktana, and the 6 lower chakras that are right down from Mooladhara up to the Agnya. When we understand that the human being is made up of these 9 physical and 3 non-physical aspects of existence, we start to understand the human being better. We grow out of this Eka Kosha, limited one body understanding that modern science gives us. And we start to understand the human being is much more than the body. The human being is much more than the breath. The human being is much more than the mind. And then finally, we start to understand ourselves. And as the Bhagavad Gita tells us, Uddharet Atman Atmanam. It is by the self, we have to lift the self until we become that highest self that we truly are.